So we have 5 species of marine turtle which are found in New Zealand waters. Of those 5 species, all are listed as threatened or endangered in the IUCN Red List of threatened species. And essentially what that means is that we need to conserve those species and manage those species so that they don't essentially become extinct in our lifetime. So that's part of my research, is to get an understanding of what they're doing in New Zealand. And one of the things I've found is that we're getting a lot more turtles or reports of turtles in New Zealand. And there might be a number of reasons why we might find that. However, as part of my research as well, I'm looking at human impacts. And what I've found is that about half of the turtles that I necropsy, so I essentially do an autopsy on them, I find some form of human impact. And that might relate to incidental capture in fisheries activities, boat strike or propeller strike from vessels, but also plastic ingestion. And that is by far the most common impact that I find. When they ingest plastics, they can't differentiate between the plastic themselves and their natural prey items, so they eat quite a lot of it. And what that can cause is a severe gut impaction of the intestinal tract. So essentially it forms this ball in the gut, if you will, and it basically stops their gut motility, which then you have this whole cascade effect of illnesses starting to develop in terms of disease, septicemia, and essentially what that does is over several weeks it can actually lead to their death. And I've seen some quite horrific results of that in a number of the turtles that I've necropsied. In addition to that, when they get captured incidentally by fisheries activities, hook in the mouth, or whether or not they actually swallow the hook and the line goes along with it and becomes embedded within the intestinal tract again, it can cause a really horrific injuries. You get perforation of the gut lining wall from the hook. The gut can actually start to wind itself around the fishing line, and so you can imagine an animal suffering that for a number of weeks before it dies. So it's really important as us as New Zealanders, because we love our marine environment, we go out, we enjoy it, we depend on these healthy environments, is to understand what our behaviours and how our behaviours might impact the marine environment, in particular the discarding plastic waste and things. So we'll have a responsibility to be able to do our best and try and reduce that plastic that goes into and pollutes our marine environment and has those impacts on those threatened species.